Hello and welcome to Grammar Class. Today's topic is narration change of vocatives and greetings. First off, what are vocatives? Well, vocatives are nouns in the vocative case. In other words, vocatives, also called nouns of address, are nouns which are used in the direct speech to address a person directly. So, in the direct speech, we use a vocative to draw a person's attention before speaking to him or her directly. I might also say that when a noun is used to call a person's attention before speaking to him, it's said to be in the vocative case. For example, the mother said, "Lina, why are you late today?" You see, here in the direct or quoted speech, the noun Lina is a vocative. Why? Because the mother is using the proper noun Lina, the daughter's name, to draw her attention before asking her a question. In the next example, the priest said to Tom, "My son, I wish I could help you." The expression or the noun phrase "my son" is in the vocative case or a vocative, because the priest is addressing Tom affectionately as "my son." This is why a noun in the vocative case is also called a noun of address. Obviously, in the following two sentences, the expressions "sir" and "children" are also vocatives respectively. And remember, a vocative may occur at the beginning or in the middle or even at the end of a sentence. Now that we know what vocatives are in English grammar, let's learn how to change a vocative from the direct to indirect speech. Now, if the vocative in the direct speech is a proper noun or someone's name, it is made the object of the reporting verb in the indirect narration. For example, the mother said, "Tina, why are you late?" You see, in this sentence, the vocative Tina is a proper noun or someone's name. So, in the indirect narration, Tina will become the object of the reporting verb asked. The mother asked Tina why she was late. Take another example. He said, "Robin, I will help you." In this direct speech also, the vocative Robin is a boy's name or a proper noun. So Robin will be made the object of the reporting verb told. And so the indirect narration is, he told Robin that he would help him. But the vocative in the direct speech is not always a proper noun. It may be some other noun or expression such as friend, son, gentleman, etc. In such a case, we use the expression address as plus the vocative before the reporting verb in the indirect speech. The tourist said to me, "Gentleman, may I know your name?" In this sentence, for example, the noun gentleman is a vocative. It's not a proper noun. So in the indirect narration, we will use the expression address as plus the vocative gentleman before the reporting verb. The tourist addressed me as gentleman and asked me if he might know my name. Now see the next example. He said, "My son, you are spoiling your life." In this example, the noun phrase "my son" is the vocative and it's not a proper noun. Hence, in the indirect narration, we will use the expression address as before the noun phrase "my son." He addressed me as his son and said that I was spoiling my life. Well, then sometimes the vocative in the direct speech denotes the speaker's admiration, regard, or even disrespect for the person he is speaking to. For such vocatives, in the indirect narration, we use the verb call instead of the expression address as before the reporting verb. For example, the father said to his son, "You fool, you cannot even eat." As you can see, in this sentence, the noun phrase "you fool" is the vocative denoting the speaker's dislike or annoyance with his son. So for this vocative, in the indirect narration, we will use the verb call instead of address as before the reporting verb. The father called his son a fool and said that he could not even eat. Now see the next example. Wise man, today you saved us all, we said to him. In this direct speech, the vocative wise man denotes or expresses our respect for the person we are speaking to. So for this vocative too, we'll use the verb call and not the expression address as. The indirect narration is, we called him a wise man and told him that he had saved us all that day. Some vocatives are altogether omitted in the indirect speech. I mean, for vocatives such as sir, madam, and dear or darling, etc., the word is replaced with an appropriate adverb like respectfully or affectionately before the reporting verb. For example, the student said to the teacher, "May I come in, ma'am?" Here the word ma'am is a vocative at the end of the sentence. We will not use this vocative in the indirect speech. We are going to replace it with the adverb respectfully. The student respectfully asked the teacher if he might come in. And then in the next example, he said to his wife, "Do not misunderstand me, dear." The word dear is the vocative denoting affection. So we are going to replace it with the adverb affectionately in the indirect speech. He affectionately asked his wife not to misunderstand him. So you see, these vocatives are not used in the indirect narration. Up next, we have a very important lesson to learn. There are certain words or expressions which are often used with vocatives in the direct narration. For example, words and expressions such as oh, so, yes, well, okay, you see, as you know, are commonly used with vocatives. But in the indirect narration, all these words and expressions are omitted. For example, he said, "Well, Tom, what can I do for you?" Here the word well used before the vocative Tom will not be used in the indirect narration. He asked Tom what he could do for him. And then he said to us, "You see, friends, we must act fast." Here again, the expression "you see" used before the vocative friends will be omitted in the indirect narration. Addressing us as friends, he told us that we had to act fast. Or he addressed us as friends and told us that we had to act fast. Now, if the direct speech contains greetings such as good morning, good evening, etc., how will you deal with them in the indirect narration? Well, for such greetings, we use the verb wish or bid before the greeting and use it before the reporting verb. For example, he said to me, "Good morning, I am glad to see you." Now, in the indirect narration, we are going to use the verb wish before the greeting. He wished me good morning and said that he was glad to see me. In the next example, the quoted speech contains the greeting good night and the vocative sir. So in the indirect narration, we will replace the vocative sir with the adverb respectfully and use the verb wish or bid in the past tense before the greeting. My students respectfully wished me good night. That's the end of today's class. Hopefully you liked the video. Please do like, comment, share and subscribe to our channel. And do not forget to click the notification bell for more such useful grammar content. Thanks for watching.